It is episode 7 of the league. We're talking about week 13, and week 13 alone. We'll also have awards in this episode, but the big theme of today is the end of the regular season, fighting for bowl games, fighting for positions in conference championship games, setting yourself up for success. You want to be able to tell the boosters at the end of the season, hey, I need more money. Look at the results if you just do that. So we're going to do that all in this episode today. We're going to start with San Jose State taking on New Mexico. No huge implications in this one as San Jose State puts the ball in the end zone to take a 14-7 lead. New Mexico has already clinched a spot in the Mountain West title race. Because San Jose State has lost a lot of games at the end of the season. As you can see, the Lobos score answer right back with a touchdown of their own. But San Jose State, right before the end of half, we're going back in the end zone, taking the 21-14 lead. And then a busted coverage on the play action. The Bananas trying to break out the banana uniforms for good luck, and it just doesn't work. Guys don't know where they are, so we're tied up at 21, but not for long. The RPO flat, a staple of this offense, works yet again. 28-21 now, and it looks like we're not playing defense. Oh my God, a guy got pancaked in the end zone. Now we got 4th and 1. Bananas in scoring position. That ball is dropped at the sticks. New Mexico goes back down the field again. Like, this defense sucks, we know that. And it's almost blocked. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, that's an awful way to lose. Oh, brutal end of the season for San Jose State. That was awful. Nevada trying to finish the year off really strong. They're 7-4. Getting to 8-4 is big for a program. They score a rushing touchdown right there, and then they come back again down the field and score. Now 24-14 after UNLV puts a couple in the end zone, but it's not going to matter. Oh my God, what in the world was that? We're trying to go airborne from like 5 yards away, and somehow it works. 31-14. Now that ball is picked off, and we're dancing the other way. Big rivalry win for Hey, Would You Blow Me? They lost this game last year, so good to get some revenge in this one. Now we go to talk about San Diego State. They're taking on the Colorado State Rams, tied up at 14 as we get to the end of a half, and that is how you execute a 2-minute drill. But on the other side of the break, defensive breakdown, man, that is going to be a tough one. You had him corralled, but you just didn't pursue well. And all of a sudden, you're now knotted up yet again. But it's okay because Malachi Nelson finds his tight end in the end zone for a touchdown, taking the 7-point lead yet again. Defense, give me one stand, please. And they don't get it. The Rams, pesky as always, trying to pull spoiler on San Diego State, but they've already clinched their spot in the playoff. This is more so for the fact that they just want to be ranked. They're 9-2 and have yet to be ranked. It's disgraceful. So they come back with a touchdown right there, and the defense just lets the Rams waltz right down the field. Fortunately, a great 2-minute drive led by Malachi Nelson leads to this field goal right here, and San Diego State does, in fact, take the win. Coach Booth, 10-win season, headed to the Mountain West title game, feeling really good about where they're at. Boise State trying to avenge their loss to Utah State last year. Utah State trying to get to 6 wins to get to bowl eligibility. This one is massive, and it started out strong for the Aggies. They get the touchdown right there, and they go jet touch. Oh my God, pulling out the spin move. Not sure what cycle that is on the washing machine, but that was fun to watch. 14-point lead now for Utah State. Coach Eric Taylor, he promised us an Idaho Potato Bowl back on this field. The defense said, Coach, we know you promised that, but it's okay. We're gonna do something else. Doesn't matter. The offense says we're here to stay. That was a great answer from the Aggies. Now back on the defensive side of the ball as we enter the third quarter, first drive of the second half, and listen, I don't know what that safety was doing. There's a good chance that he was on some sort of recreational drug. Maybe not even recreational. I don't know. Maybe he's on Tylenol. Maybe. Oh, no. Defense, what are we doing? Listen, you try and talk good about this program, and every time you do, they start to let you down. However, we're coming back down the field, and we're running a little slip screen touchdown pass. That is literally what the play is called on the play sheet, slip screen touchdown pass. They ran it to perfection, ends in 7, and now the defense makes a play, forces the fumble, gets on top of it. This game is over. Utah State owns Boise State, and we're going bowling, ladies and gentlemen of Logan. Now we go to the Sun Belt to end the season. Louisiana, Old Dominion. This is for a spot in the Sun Belt title game, potentially. Georgia Southern is a big thorn in the side in this game, but the winner gives themselves a chance, so Old Dominion fans got to be really happy getting on the board there first. Louisiana fans got to be really happy for the answer right here. Rockwell finding the seam, outrunning the defense, diving into the end zone to tie this thing up at 7. But Devin Roche says this can't be tied for much longer. I've never seen a guy make a defense look so stupid. I mean, that was ridiculous. That is a SportsCenter Top 10 highlight. That is probably the best play you're going to see all year. Now we got a flag. I think somebody jumped. Lunch going to take a shot downfield. Free play, and it pays off. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have 28 points. It's now 35 points in the first quarter. Now we're going to make it 42 points. This is a ridiculous game. Defense is completely optional. I don't even know if they got off the bus, to be honest with you. Taj Bullock with the QB keep, and he's got room to run. This is bonkers. He throws out the spin move, 2 of them. Oh, he gets tackled at the 1. Old Dominion would score 2 plays later. They'll take the 28-21 lead. Now it's Lunch's turn. And yes, his name is Lunch. Like, this guy is legit Lunch Winfield. And he's going to dump it off to his tight end. Tight end's going to break a couple tackles. He's going to split 2 defenders. He's going to try to get in the end zone, but he just falls short. They do score another play later. And then they get the ball to Tank Hawkins for some reason. I don't know why you're ever kicking the ball to Tank Hawkins. This dude is electric. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You kick it to him, you're going to probably give up a touchdown. It's math, right? You kick it to the best returner in the country. What the hell was the defense doing there? Okay, so it's now 42-28. Now it's 49-35. Maybe Louisiana's not dead yet. They're in goal-to-go situation. Lunch finds his receiver in the end zone. We're down to a 6-point ball game after going for 2 and getting it. That's a great job going for 2 down 14. Lunch, we can't be late on that, man. Okay, so Old Dominion has the potential to be playing in the Sun Belt title game at 6-6. This is ridiculous. All they need is a Georgia Southern loss to do so. Coastal Carolina and App State. Coach Goon taking on Coach Mike Roth. Listen, we know exactly what's at stake here, and it's the pride of Coach Goon. He cannot beat Coach Mike Roth, but he might try and flip the script this year. That kick return touchdown on the opening bell is what they needed. However, the defense continues to be one of the worst units in the entire country, and this is not an exaggeration. They stink to high heaven. There's not a single good thing about that defense. They don't tackle well. They don't cover well. They don't play the run well. They have no gap integrity. Like, anything about it is wrong. However, London Humphreys is very good at football, and it's tough to stop him. And App State found that out the hard way early on in this one. We're still in the first quarter, by the way. Defense, defense, defense. That is exactly what you needed to turn the tides of this game. Now you can go up 14 points with a touchdown on this drive right here. And that is going to be, okay. Listen, I think only a retard would make that throw. What else do you want me to say about that? That was the single dumbest throw I've ever seen. And there's been a lot of dumb throws. Oh my God, there's another one. There's another one. We're just having who can have the dumbest throw off right now. But App State does get to stop because Coastal offense probably turned the ball over again, and they find the end zone on their next possession. See, running the ball is good because only one bad thing can happen, right? When you're trying to throw the ball, a bunch of bad things can happen. And oh yeah, see, that was 4th down. You got stopped short of the end zone. Yeah, this is not going to be good, is it? Yep. That is about what I expected. 94 yards the other way after getting stuffed on 4th and goal. You lose 38-14, and Coach Goon is yet to beat Coach Mike Roth in a football game. He's his dad at this point. Coach Mike Roth is literally the father of Coach Goon. There is nothing else to say about that. Ohio trying to keep Ball State from getting into a bowl game this season. They're 10-1 on the year, so this would be for 11 regular season wins. That was a beautiful pick. Listen, they're bringing pressure. You got to get the ball out quick. Sometimes you just make the wrong read, make the wrong decision. You throw a bad pass, and it gets taken back the other way. This team knows how to score points. They know how to fluster the opposition. We're going to do a couple of pre-snap motions trying to ID the defense. They're coming on another blitz, and Mason Williams is wide open in the flat. Tim Carpenter knew exactly where he needed to go with the football there. This Ohio team is basically unstoppable at this point. Chase Hendricks needs his daily touchdown. I think he finished with 17 on the season or something ridiculous like that. Carpenter got laid out there, but it doesn't matter because Ohio's going to score. Ball State went on a little run there. Not going to matter, though. 11-1 Bobcats going to Detroit for the MAC title game next week. This is going to be a good one. Bowling Green, not starting out too hot. Go for it on 4th and 3 deep in their own territory. And they just said, hey, you're going to score anyway. Let's throw a pick 6. So now they're on 7-0. And this Bowling Green team, yes, it says they have 4 wins. I'm going to be honest, it's probably a 2-win football team. I don't know if P. Rizzi's going to be able to save his job. Akron scores. I mean, that was a beautiful throw. You got to give credit to where it's due. Bowling Green and the Falcons do get their field goal, but then they throw another pick 6. So that's now 2 in the first half. Wow, that is a big score, 48-3. At least you got your patented field goal. That's big. We needed that. So we got Toledo and Miami. This is a big game for the fact that the same thing that Ohio and Ball State was a big game, like for playoff contention and just good vibes going to the MAC title game. MAC title game's we already know who's going to. So Miami, finds the end zone there, cuts it to 7. But, we know Toledo, their offense is way too high-powered, way too good. They're not really worried about this one. They'll find some way to score. Maddox Madsen, what are you doing, brother? Okay, listen, maybe Madsen's going to try to keep them in this one because that was something. Defense is probably going to make a stop here, though. Okay, maybe not. I thought somebody would get off a block, maybe fill that gap, but it's okay. Tie ball game. You got plenty of time to go down the field. 2 minutes left. You're going to find the end zone. Okay, Madsen tries to rip a seam ball. That thing's overthrown. It's picked off. Okay, you get to stop. Great. You're going to get into field goal position. You're going to kick the field goal to win the football game. You're going to win 52-49. Everything's going to be all hunky-dory. You won't have to worry about it. Oh, that was a beautiful pass by Madsen. See, I told you. You're going to be fine. Oh, my God, it gets blocked. Are you kidding me? This is serious right now. We're going to overtime? Okay, I guess we're going to overtime. Miami, whose quarterback is wearing number 34. You can't lose to a guy like this. You just can't. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can. Well, that certainly is not very good. Okay, so now you got an answer. You got a chance to respond here. And once you score, you could think about going for 2 here. I would say you're probably the better team, so you can kick the extra point and feel pretty good about your chances in a couple of overtimes. So now we're going to go back to Toledo because obviously that's how overtime works. That was a dangerous throw, but it works out. Now you got to go for 2. They didn't get it, though, so it's 62-56. Touchdown 2-point conversion here from Miami means they win this ball game. They get the touchdown. Now it's about the 2-point conversion. Draw up your best play here. Give me your best possible outcome. If your best possible outcome was a sack when you had guys open, we probably need to rethink what our offensive philosophy is. It's okay. We're now into 2-point off. This is fine. You just got to keep dialing up good plays. It's a good play there by Miami. Now Toledo needs to draw up a good play here. And it looks like they got the look that they wanted. Oh, is it going to be short? No, he reaches over the goal line. We're going to another overtime. I think this is OT4. This is OT4 now. Toledo with their 2-point conversion attempt. Madsen's going to roll out of the pocket here. This is not great. Throw across his body. That ball is incomplete. Now they need their defense to step up. What does Miami have to potentially win this ball game? It looks like we've got a packed box. We're bringing some heat. That one's out. Oh, my God. He didn't get it. Oh, my God. I thought for sure he was over the line. We go to a 5th overtime. Toledo, they get to stop. This is insane. Okay. Toledo, if you score right here, game over. You don't have to worry about it anymore. If you score right here, Madsen's going to get sacked. Oh, my God. Miami draws up the perfect defense for him. Toledo now starting with the ball. I'm out of breath. This is a lot. That was a really good play call. Way to hit the drag right there. Now your defense just needs to make one play. Can you step up and make one play? Motion out from the running back. Takes the ball. He's got all day in the pocket. Yes, this is slow-mo, but he can't find anybody, and he gets sacked. Toledo from the jaws of defeat. From the jaws, just so many back and forths in that game. They get the victory. They go into the MAC title game feeling really good, and everything is happy in Toledo. Now we're talking about Jacksonville State in a random out-of-conference game in Week 13 against Hawaii. That touchdown puts them up by 1, but Hawaii bounces right back to take a 6-point lead yet again. We know this offense likes to put up points for the Gamecocks. Jaden Davis is going to find his receiver in the flat, and that is just speed to the corner of the end zone. Now up 42-41. They get the ball back. Great job by the defense. And Paul is going to shrug off those defenders. They go up 49-41. This is still an 8-point ball game. Hawaii not out of it. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. Gives them the tie ball game they are looking for. Sitting back in the pocket. He's got all day to throw. Eventually, he finds his receiver. It all comes down to this 2-point conversion play. Can the Jacksonville State Gamecocks get the stop? Quarterback throw in, and that ball is jarred loose. Gamecocks win 49-47. They'll see Middle Tennessee State in the Conference USA Championship game. Speaking of Middle Tennessee, they were playing UTEP, and Jeremiah Cobb runs right through the heart of the Miners defense, and he is going all the way to the crib. That is how you start it off. Now it is 7-3 after UTEP goes down and gets a field goal. 8 minutes left. This is the first play of the second quarter. Throw out to Jaden Krettel. Krettel finds the end zone. 14-3 now. Another UTEP field goal. Jalen Mbakwe on the kick return. This dude is electricity. He gets his 6th or 8th kickoff return touchdown of this season to go up 21-6. Now 28-6 coming right out of the break. This is the first play of the second half, and Tyquan Yates showing off the sweet feet. He's going to find the end zone. Middle Tennessee State is going to find the victory, 56-13. They are 11-1 in hosting the Conference USA Championship game. Going to our final regular season game of the year, Missouri State trying to get to 6 wins and bowl eligibility, and Josh Joyner is starting things off strong. First play from scrimmage, he goes all out of yards to the crib to take a 7-0 lead. But Delaware comes right back down the field. Saeed St. Fleur having himself quite the season, caps it off right there with the touchdown. And we're tied up at 7 now. And then St. Fleur again, this time on the angle route going across the middle of the field. That's 2 touchdowns for the Blue Hen back already. Delaware trying to get to 8 wins on the season. Really have a good momentum going into this bowl game. And that is a dangerous throw by Mason Kelsey. Doesn't matter though. Dude's got stones. Want to make those passes. And it pays off right there. And then, hey, look who it is. It's Jake Bridell, the guy that just absolutely dominated Conference USA opponents last year. He had a little bit of a quieter season this year. Oh my God, Saeed St. Fleur. This dude is unbelievable. Why did we not see more of him this season? He is a very fun player and hopefully sticks around till, I don't know if he's a senior or not, but that was a fun run. See what I did there? Missouri State, though, finds the end zone. Joyner's a good running back, too. We've got some good running backs in Conference USA. That is for certain. And then this is going to be the icing right here. Not St. Fleur. This one's Spiller, the backup running back. And Delaware is going to run away with this one, taking the 56-35 win and feeling really good about where they sit heading into bowl season. So as we look at the scoreboard recap, obviously App State and Coach Mike Roth beat Coach Goon in a game that we all saw coming. Coach Goon is never going to beat a team that is led by Coach Mike Roth. This is written in the Bible, actually. Louisiana losing a tough one to ODU. ODU tried their best to punch their ticket to the Sun Belt title game, but Georgia Southern won. Georgia Southern will be playing App State in the Sun Belt title game. Nevada beats the piss out of UNLV. I think they play for a Cannon. Takes the Cannon home to Reno. That is a big one for them. New Mexico. I mean, San Jose State cannot catch a break with the way that they lose some of these games. A lot of close one-score losses, especially in conference late in the season, keeps them out of the title race. But New Mexico playing really good football right now. They will see the San Diego State Aztecs I believe they play in Las Vegas for the title game. A big win there for San Diego State over a Colorado State team that has been giving a lot of teams problems. They don't ask you how you won. They ask you how many wins you had, especially when you're talking about 20 years later. This was a good San Diego State team. Coach Booth is a really good coach. Shout out to Slug on that one. And then Utah State going bowling, baby. I didn't forget about you, Coach Taylor. What a performance. What a season number 2 in Logan. That is how you do it. They own Boise State. There's nothing else that needs to be said other than watch out, Mountain West. They're coming for it all next year. In the MAC, it is Ohio taking over Ball State. I mean, that one wasn't very close. The score says otherwise. 2 touchdowns, but that one really not 2 touchdowns. Toledo survived. I mean, probably one of the top 5 games that we have ever had in this dynasty. Survives a massive scare, almost blows the 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. Does not matter, though. They come away victorious. They keep their playoff hopes alive. They will see Ohio in Detroit next week for the MAC title game. And then Bowling Green ends the season in probably the saddest way that you could probably end the season, and that is with a 48-3 loss to Akron of all teams. Jacksonville State outguns Hawaii. That was a fun game to watch. The offense is playing really well. Defense is going to have to step it up here in the conference title game if they want to win. Middle Tennessee, big win over at UTEP. Nothing surprising there. They're getting ready for next week. Delaware and Coach Mo Shiesty finished the season off strong with the 56-35 win over Coach Wagner and the Bears. Mo State misses out on a bowl game by a fraction of a hair. Just needed a couple more things to go their way this season. Almost got to 6 wins. Got to feel really good about the trajectory of that program heading into year 3. Now that we have made it to the end of the regular season post-conference championship week, it's time to take a look at the award winners for season number 2. Toledo goes back-to-back as the Heisman Trophy winner. Jonathan Paylor, this combination of returning statistics and his receiving statistics, is able to come in first place for the Heisman Trophy voters. London Humphreys coming in second, having a fantastic season, as you can see right here. 118 catches, 2,200 yards, 27 receiving touchdowns. Not quite as good as Jonathan Paylor. He really turned it on towards the end of the season. Phenomenal player, and Toledo goes back-to-back. Something to put in the cap for them as a recruiting pitch. As we turn our attention to the actual awards, Jonathan Paylor also wins the Maxwell Award, with London Humphreys coming in second. In terms of the Walter Camp, it is the same exact thing, Paylor and then Humphreys. The Bear Bryant Coach of the Year Award goes to Coach Mike Roth. Had himself a fantastic season just outside of the college football playoff, but now a 2-time Sun Belt champion. Doc Hudson finishing in second place. He had a fantastic year as well. Won the Conference USA Conference Championship for the second year in a row as well. As we go to the Davey O'Brien, it was Jaden Maeva out of USC. Was a phenomenal quarterback all year long. Malachi Nelson in the 3 spot. Had himself a fantastic year. You can see the stats at the bottom right there. And we go to the Chuck Bednarik Award. That goes to Shandavian Bradley of Toledo. And then you see a bunch of Ohio guys, Jalen Thomason, Jack Abbott, and Levain Scruggs all doing their part. And then DJ Walker down there. Just a fantastic defense over in Ohio. They were boom or bust, so they're going to have the statistics to back it up. And they do so here. But it was Shandavian Bradley taking home the Bednarik. In terms of the Nagurski, it is the same layout. I mean, nothing changes at all there. In terms of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, it is Levain Scruggs. This is for secondary players, and you can see Ohio taking the top, or 3 of the top 4 spots. They were just really good, man. There's not a ton to say about it. Dadoka Walker goes to Kanye Udo. Fluff Bothwell and Carson Hansen finish out the top 3. Jaden Krettel and Jeremiah Cobb, both out of Middle Tennessee State, coming in 4th and 5th place. You got to think that if they didn't share the backfield as much as they did, they might have won it. But then you see it, Raleek Brown, Tremaine Ferguson, Josh Joyner, and Saeed St. Fleur rounding it out for the league teams in the Walker finalist category. For the Blintikoff, it was London Humphreys taking that home. Kind of felt like he was going to win this if Paylor was going to win the Heisman, vice versa. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with either choice. Humphreys probably meant a little bit more to his team's success than Paylor did. I mean, when you talk about the weapons that Toledo has at their disposal, they're probably a little bit better than Coastal Carolina. Chase Hendricks finishing in a solid 3rd place. He had himself a hell of a year, just not quite up to the standards of Paylor and Humphreys. In the Lombardi, it was Elo Madazi out of Georgia taking home the award. DJ Westlock comes in 2nd place. He had himself a fantastic season, transferring from Missouri State to Middle Tennessee State with 17 sacks, 35 tackles for loss. Just not enough to pass Medozi, who had 14 tackles and 31 for loss against better competition, admittedly. Trey White, who won it last year, finishes 6th this year. Jaden Jackson out of Toledo finishes 7th. And then Antoine Tucker from Ohio, who's a freshman, by the way, really good player, finishes in 10th. The Golden Arm also goes to Maeva, no shock there, but you do see Maddox Madsen in there, and not Malachi Nelson. Taj Bullock as well. I mean, it is senior quarterback, so that's why Malachi Nelson wasn't in there. It would help if I paid attention. In terms of edge rusher of the year, it's not going to change much. The Outland Trophy is going to DJ Chester Center from LSU. John Mackey goes to Tyson Chavez, but you also see a bunch of other league tight ends in here. John Steinbach, Luke Harpring, Tavion Galloway, Jelani Thurman. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Wow, he's at UMass now? Good for him. And then Jake Bradell had himself a down year. 70 catches, 783 yards, and 10 reception touchdowns. If that was a down year for me, I'd be pretty happy, but he did not play as well as we would have liked him to, but he's only a junior, so we may see him back atop the rankings next year. You just don't know. And then Brian Kortovich from Louisiana. As we go to the Broyles Award, it was obviously, if you win the Coach of the Year award, you're probably going to win the Broyles Awards. We've got DJ Smith and Hal Simmons from Appalachian State. Fran Brown, defensive coordinator for Toledo, finishes in third. And then Brian Stewart and Bodie Reeder, who both won the awards last year. I think Stewart actually won it. They both finish in top 5 yet again. As we go to the Dick Butkus Award, it is Bradley yet again. I mean, when you look at linebackers, his stats were second to none, 60 tackles, and that's not even counting total tackles, but he had 37 for a loss and 9 sacks. Just an overall phenomenal performance for him. And then Thomason and Habert right behind out of Ohio. The Rivington Award goes to the center, so Chester's going to win that again. Carter Miller was phenomenal for a Jacksonville State rushing attack that just terrorized opponents with their inside run. He finishes in 4th place. The Lou Grozo Award goes to Gianni Spedic. He went and transferred to Memphis. He had himself a really good season, made 24 of 25 attempts, 96%, and had a long 53. We don't kick many field goals in this league, so it shouldn't surprise you that nobody's up there. And then Matthew Chulis out of Kennesaw State was the number 1 punter, probably because he had a billion punts. Yeah, he had 87 of them. That's probably up there for the most. I mean, you saw Kennesaw State against a lot of the opponents in the Conference USA. They just did not play very well. So it shouldn't surprise you that their punter is number 1. In terms of the Jet Award, it was a photo finish towards the end of the season. You have 2 Appalachian State guys rounding out the list here, but we had 5 league players make up the top 5. Jordan Savage, freshman playmaker out of Jacksonville State. You're not going to see his actual kick return stats. I'm not going to go into each individual player, but he had himself a great year. Jalen Mbakwe out of Middle Tennessee State. They brought him in from Auburn. He was phenomenal. Tank Hawkins is probably the best returner I would say he was. He finished his 3rd, which is unfortunate, but I thought he was phenomenal. I mean, he turned games on their head in favor of the Narcs, and something that I think that if they're able to keep him around, man, watch out. This offense could be scary. And then Paylor is 2nd. I mean, we know what he was able to do in both the punt return and kick return games. But then it's Zachary Wiedner. What a weird way to spell Zachary, number 1. But this kid was unbelievable. I will show you his stats because he finished 1st. He was unreal. 92 kick returns, 2,400 yards, nearly 2,500 yards, 27 per return, and 8 touchdowns. Didn't do too much in the punt return game, but did add a touchdown there. So 9 total return touchdowns. I do want to show you Tank Hawkins, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, simply because he was unbelievable as a kick returner. He averaged 28.5 per return, 6 touchdowns. So not quite nearly as many touchdowns or yards, but he did have more yards per return. I do want to see if Jalen Mbakwe, because I know at one point he had some insane numbers in terms of average. Yeah, he finished with 32.7 yards per return, 7 touchdowns, and 1,400 yards. Honestly, for him, it was a volume thing. If he had more kick return attempts and chances, he probably wins the award, but he didn't. So, unfortunately for him, just not enough volume. And then the freshman of the year goes to Landon Roldan, the wide receiver out of Georgia. Had himself a fantastic year, 107 catches, 1,500 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Jordan Savage was phenomenal for Jacksonville State, as we just talked about. He also added 666 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns and was a beast out of the backfield. I mean, he went for nearly 1,200 yards of total offense. So, he's pretty good. As we go to the All-Americans for this season, you're going to notice a lot of league players, and that should not surprise you. But you will see Jaden Maeva taking home the quarterback award, Kanye Udo, Fluff Bothwell, nothing surprising there. But then London Humphreys, Jonathan Paylor, Chase Hendricks, Tyson Chavez. I mean, this shouldn't surprise you if you're familiar with the league at all. All four of those guys were basically the focal point of the offense. Whether or not the importance was greater for some of these guys can be, questioned, but these guys were all number one in their offense, without a doubt. And Tyson Chavez, I mean, he's a pure blocking archetype and cooked every secondary he went against. It was unbelievable. And unfortunately, he is a senior, so we don't get to see him again next year, but he is such a fun player. Charles Jagusa, out of... I think he was a transfer into Toledo this past season, but obviously 91 overall. He was phenomenal. He gets your right guard honors. In terms of the defensive side of the ball, Jadavion Bradley, Jack Habbert, Jalen Thomas, and not a surprise there. Dylan Phelps for Ohio as well, and then DJ Walker and Levain Scruggs. As you can see, the Ohio defense put up a lot of statistics. When you run a lot of cover zero, you're gonna have a lot of chances to make big plays, and that's exactly what they did. In terms of the second team, Jeremiah Cobb takes home halfback 2 honors here. Tyson Davis, who was kind of the unsung player in the Ohio offense because of how good Chase Hendricks was. As you can see, his stats: 115 catches, 1,700 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Dude was unbelievable himself. John Steinbeck gets tight end 2 honors. Stanton Rommel out of Jacksonville State gets your left tackle of the second team. Kalen Ellis from San Diego State gets your right guard in the second team. Then DJ Westlock and Jaden Jackson are your 2 defensive linemen from the league on the second team. Joshua Mensah, the Western Kentucky player who finished the year with 9 sacks. That's quite a good year for the guy who didn't finish top 10 in any of the awards, but gets second team Sam linebacker. Very interesting. Arvell Reese wins your mic, and he's finally a senior, so he's going to be gone this year. Torian York transfers to USC. I didn't even realize that. Vicari Swain, the UMass cornerback, finishes as the cornerback 1 on the second team. And then Colin Gill, UMass safety, finishes as the strong safety on the second team. Freshman-wise, Jordan Savage, Ryan Kortovich. I didn't even realize he was a freshman as well. Junior Scipio, Antoine Tucker, Quentin Callis, and then Major Preston are your freshmen All-American players. Not going to look at conference because a lot of the same names are going to be on here. We don't need to rehash all of that. So with that, season number 2, at least the regular season, is in the books. A great regular season. I thought we had a lot of really good games yet again. Had a lot of really close conference races, even though it didn't feel like it at times. And we saw a lot of teams get better, especially from their year 1 win total. I think everybody was maintained or got better besides Fresno State and San Jose State. I think when you look back, I'd have to double check this, but I think that's what it comes out to. We're going to see a good amount of bowl games. We're going to see all 4 conference title games, which is kind of expected. 2 user versus user, and then 2 user versus CPU. So App State is going to take on Georgia Southern in the Sun Belt. They are hosting the Sun Belt's title game. San Diego State taking on New Mexico in the Mountain West title game. That one will be played in Las Vegas. Jacksonville State going to Murfreesboro to take on Middle Tennessee in the Conference USA title game, a rematch of last year. And then Ohio and Toledo meeting at Ford Field to take on each other in a week 2 rematch in which Ohio won 14-13 with 12 interceptions combined in that game. Hopefully we see a much cleaner battle this time around, but that one's going to be really fun. After that, so we're going to have those in the next episode, and we're also going to do a kind of end-of-season recap for a lot of teams. After that episode, we are going to be talking about the bowl season specifically. The way things are set up right now, the league will have at least 1 team in the college football playoff. They may have 2 if some things go their way, but as it stands right now, there will be at least 1 team in the college football playoff. So we'll get at least 1 college football playoff game in the bowl game episode as well. And then we will get to the offseason. So we're going to have, I think, 3 more episodes this season, if my math is correct, on top of episode 7. And then we will be in season 3 before you know it. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button. Obviously, you got to hit the like button if you like it. I mean, that's a given. But that subscribe button is super important so you don't miss the end of season episodes because they're going to be really good. Recording this after the fact, we are already in the off season. The end of the season is it's just fucking insane, and you're not going to want to miss it. So make sure you're subscribed. Even hit that notification bell if you haven't, so you do get notified. You don't want to miss these. It's basically the point I'm trying to drive home. Throw a comment in the comment section below. What team are you standing for? I hate that I said standing, but what team are you riding with at the end of the season? What coach, I should say specifically, because you'll see in a little tease here, you'll see in the offseason some things start to change around. Which coach are you most excited to see in season number 3? Let me know in the comment section below. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the flip. See ya.